it was just like, bro, I tried everything, man. I got other jobs too, sweeping floors, bro. I quit every job. I was working with kids at like a almost like a jail facility, like a facility for kids that actually was in major lockup. This was almost like a kid halfway house before they go home, right? So I was working there for a while. Shout out to my people's Khadijah Bowens. She played ball for the high school I played ball for, and she was like, she went to school for like whatever it is, like early development education. So she was like the boss at this center. And I was calling everybody, yo, bro, I need a job, whatever. So one of my homies was like, yo, you know Khadijah over at whatever. So I'm like, anyway, I call her. She like, yo, come down. She gave me a job, and it's literally like, kind of like something that's so not me, bro. Like so not me, like telling kids to go in a room, wrestling, fighting motherfuckers. Like, bro, it was crazy, right? But it was cool because it was like, all right, I'm from where they from, so it's not like I'm scared of these kids by no means, but it's just like, who feel like dealing with that shit? I ain't had no kids at the time. I'm telling other people kids, yo, you gotta go ahead, man. People cheating meds. Bro, it was crazy. So that was like my low point. I feel like that was my low point, but that's where I kind of like started getting my creativity back. You know what I mean? To the point where I was like, I started a program for the kids, an art program. So when I go to these schools now and I see these kids that's really into art, it's almost too easy. Because I made kids that ain't give two shits about art, love art. You know what I'm saying? Just because there was nothing else for them to do. So once I started that, I got like, all right, so you imagine like a jail unit, it's all white walls, bro. It's like a sane asylum, for real. So I got every kid to like do their own poster, like where they from, their name, and they seen everything I was doing. So they like, oh, I'm from North Philly, I'm gonna put North Philly, whoever name, whatever. So now it's from a sane asylum to art everywhere. Every kid got something in front of their room, and the activity room is this, and that. So now the big wigs that come in to make sure that the numbers, how many kids we got in here, how's the facility looking, the people that don't deal with the kids, but have the money flowing through the facilities, they come in and looking like, well, who did all this? Oh, the kids did it. Mr. Raheem has an art class for the kids, and they can't be in it unless they don't get any fights at school. You know what I'm saying? Like school was downstairs from 7 to 3. I worked from 3 to 11. Yeah. So you read they math, they whole thing, how they was doing the day, who's on one-on-ones, who's trying to commit suicide. It was like, you have to read this shit. So if you was fighting early in the day, you can't come to the activity room at 5 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? So I would see these kids, like behaviors totally change, bro. Like, Mr. Raheem, I wasn't fighting today. Can I do some art? Because I'm in there listening to Lil Wayne. It's a whole movie, so the kids like looking at the hallway like, damn, I want to be in that joint, but I was rumbling today, man. So I would be talking to him, bro, you gotta cut it out, you gotta chill. All right, Mr. Raheem, I'm gonna chill out, man. So I gained those like relationships with younger people through art, like, and it was crazy. So make a long story short, we have a meeting, and they're like, Mr. Raheem, could you do what you did on your floor with the other 3 floors? And now they don't know that I'm already business bull. They don't know my life before that, dog. I was closing $400,000 loans with people, charging yield spread, and they don't know my brain. You know what I'm saying? They just see me as the bull, just be working upstairs. So I sit down with them. I say, yeah, but you know, we got to get on some type of a budget because it costs money to bring in the equipment. And y'all will have somebody here getting $80,000 a year, and the kids would be throwing pencils at them. They wouldn't even be getting connected. So they like, you're right, we'll give you overtime. And in my head, right then and there, I said, okay, I'm out. Because y'all like disrespecting my brain. Because y'all know what I'm doing with these kids, but just because I'm not a certain person or a certain color or don't have the credentials to say that I can do this, y'all trying to play me.
Like they weren't trying to give you a title change?
Nah, nothing. Overtime. So it's like, bro, I'm not even making no money. So overtime is gonna be what, extra $400? Like, you killing me, right? So that might have been cool with somebody else, you know what I'm saying? But for me, it was like, that was just like a pit stop where I was because I wasn't trying to be hustling. I wasn't trying to be in the street all day. So I knew I needed to be somewhere for at least 8 hours of the day, bro, to not get locked up, to not be beefing with niggas just because, you know what I'm saying? So that was my thing, so.
I want to say something right there. Knowing your value and being a part of the arts, you think that like those experiences where you actually made money in the past and you know, do you think that helped you establish knowing your value? Because sometimes artists don't like to talk about money. They don't like to even, like, for you to be able to take a stand in that moment, that means a lot. Like, that means that you understood that what you have is worth something.
Because I would talk to all the art directors that would come in, because I'll be like, almost like, I'm kind of like the prison guard in the room while all of this stuff is going on. So I'm just in the corner, just making sure nobody fight. But I'm seeing how they reacting to the art director that comes in twice a week from Harrisburg somewhere. This is just one of the facilities that they go to, and they just in there doing nothing. They just got free time. They making probably $100,000. I'm asking these people, yo, so how many years was you in school before you started working here? Oh yeah, I just graduated. No disrespect, but how much you make a year? You know what I mean? They're like, oh, right now I'm starting off for like 74. And I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? Okay. So I'm taking notes in the midst of all this, and then back to what you said, like knowing your worth is like, bro, you gotta know your worth. Like from Philly, I'm gonna say anywhere, but I'm gonna say from Philly, you gotta know your worth, bro. Because niggas will tell you, the niggas that had you doing all kinds of shit. You know what I'm saying? Just if you don't know your worth. So I've always, and playing ball was always that thing for me where I wasn't just somebody just outside all day doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? I always, today I'm doing this. Today I got a game. Today we traveling here. So I was playing AAU basketball since I was in 8th grade. So getting outside of Philly early, Maryland, Vegas, Cali, Miami, traveling, playing basketball, I would come back home like, damn, I ain't even know palm trees. Like, you can have palm trees in a regular neighborhood. Like, my brain just going crazy because it's like, I'm seeing all this stuff. I'm going to college campuses, playing basketball. Then I come back home. And none of my homies was like, they play basketball and stuff like that, but they weren't trying to be a part of no team. They weren't trying to, like, none of that. So it was just crazy, man. And it's like playing basketball and just growing up knowing that you're not a regular Joe Schmo for real is like everything. You know what I mean? And through my life, I always had that. I always had that moment